Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Thursday afternoon here in the eastern part of the USA. It's time for Manufacturer Showcase, brought to you by DX Engineering. And today we have a very special guest. It's Digital Dorsey, K8OAD, from the DX Engineering Sales and Support team. And boy, you've got a lot going on there. What a fabulous shack, Ken.
Thank you.
That's very nice. What are you hearing on the phones today? What kind of customer questions have you been getting?
Getting a lot of questions about antennas. What I can use for an HF antenna. What's a long wire? Should I go with in-fed? Should I go with a dipole? A lot of antenna questions, it seems like, today.
Well, except for the 4 inches of snow that you got this morning, the weather is getting better.
Right.
At least here. I know our friends down south are struggling with storms and so forth, but certainly as the weather gets better, I think you're going to get even more of those questions, about coax, about what kind of antennas to use. And with so many new people coming into the hobby, they ask those questions, right, Ken?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I understand, Tim, that if you put up an antenna in bad weather, it'll actually work better for you. That's what I've heard anyway. So.
I've heard that. In my younger years, I used to see if that was true. But I've attended a physics class or two since then, and so there is a lot of magic in this stuff. And the good news is, as you know, Ken, this stuff really wants to work. It's amazing with some of the small antennas how far you can get out.
Absolutely. It really is amazing. I mean, even some of the Chameleon portables. I know Jeff, KB8EZT, he just loves his Chameleon portable. Just takes it with him on camping trips and everything, and works a lot of places. So.
Yeah, no, it's really energizing. Well, today, because we have Digital Dorsey, it's time for Q&A. So it's time to put your questions in the chat box, especially questions about digital technologies like DMR, like D-Star, like Fusion, P25, and even FT8, FT4, JT65. Ken is really, really super good with a lot of the VHF, UHF radios. Ken, what's a really good VHF, UHF handheld these days?
Right now, probably one of the like the FTM3, or the 3DR, the Yaesu 3DR, the 2DR. Those are very good handhelds. Even the FT70. That's a nice little dual band HT. All of those do system fusion, YSF, C4FM. Other people call it by C4FM, but C4FM system fusion, it's the same thing. But those are both excellent HTs, the 3DR and the 2DR, super. I know Icom's coming out with the new model there, and we're waiting to see what that's going to be like, because that's going to have D-Star on it. So it'll be nice to actually have a new D-Star HT out on the market again. But right now, that's those are probably two of the most popular radios out there. Is the 3DR by a long stretch. It's the most popular radio.
Great. We have Gino on with us today. Kilo Golf 7 Papa Oscar United, and also Dawn, Whiskey Juliet 3 uniform, and Greg, November Charlie 7 Bravo. And it is the EARTTY weekend from Echo Alpha 7 Charlie Victor Fox in Alaska, Kilo Lima 4 Sierra X-Ray from Brazil, Papa Uniform 3 Radio Charlie Bravo, and Central Texas Alpha Echo 5 Hotel Whiskey, and Sugar Victor 2 Mike Kilo Echo from Greece, and from Argentina Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. And Rafael says the Poland SPDX contest is this weekend. Please join. And Whiskey 8 Victor India Papa. I'm still waiting for the Icom ID52. Please take my money. Aaron, as soon as they come in the door, man.
We're all waiting for them. I'm waiting for one too.
We got a whole crowd waiting for that. We've got November 2, Fox, India, X-Ray. Nathan is on with us. And why digital modes all using the radio is dead? I'm not sure what that's about. How about November 8, Kilo, Quebec, Whiskey 6, Golf, Foxtrot. And India Uniform 3, Bravo, Tango, Fox says, see you on the EARTTY. Hello from Ontario. Victor Alpha 3, Quebec, Fox. Joe Eisenberg is on, K0, November, Echo, Bravo. And Dino is on, Kilo Lima 0, Sierra. N2, Whiskey, Echo, Alpha. And let's see, Tango Oscar Mike says, hello, Tim and DD. That's Digital Dorsey. And Bob WD8NVN says, what digital system is the easiest to learn to use? What do you think, Ken?
Either it's going to be a toss-up, D-Star or System Fusion. The DMR is a good system, but there is a large learning curve. The programming the radios is not an easy task. Once you get the hang of it, it's not hard, but it does take some time and a big learning curve on DMR. So I would say either System Fusion or D-Star, either one of those are pretty much drop in your call sign and bring up the reflectors and the rooms. I mean, great. It's very straightforward.
Excellent. And Mike, Kilo India 8 Radio is on. He says, really enjoying my new Icom 2100 that I picked up at DXE 2 weeks ago. What an amp. That is a beautiful piece of gear.
That is a nice amp.
That's just really tremendous. We've got, let's see, November 3 Whiskey Sierra, November 2 Oscar Alpha, and our own Jeff KB8ZWT is in the chat. He's on the other side this time. Victor Echo 2 India Alpha Tango from Quebec. And let's see, talking about the last man standing, Whiskey Juliet 3 Uniform, and also November 9 Charlie Quebec. Let's talk about, Ken, mobile antennas for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. What's a popular mobile antenna that you like for a car?
I personally like the Diamond series, the NRs especially. The NR, in case you don't know, stands for no radials or radialless. Those work very well in a lot of applications where you don't have a good ground to the antenna. You don't need a ground plane for those. I had a Diamond NR antenna on a luggage rack on a mobile that worked absolutely fantastic. Wasn't connected to any kind of a ground other than what the luggage rack was, which wasn't much of a ground, but yeah, worked flawlessly. Any of the Diamond antennas will work well for you, just depending on the mounting situation that you're in. But the NR antennas, especially being radialless, they work in a lot of applications where you wouldn't be able to use an antenna otherwise. So that's something to bear in mind.
Well, that's great. We're on here today with Digital Dorsey, and so we're taking questions, especially about UHF, VHF, the digital side of things, DMR, Fusion, D-Star, any questions you might have. Ken is the guy. In fact, last week when Rod and I were on Thursday, there were several questions that we pointed people to you, Ken, to call in and ask for you specifically.
Yes, so, please call in.
Yeah, you know, I know you're a busy guy, but if a customer calls in and wants to talk to you, unless you're on the phone, you know, even though everybody's working remote and from home, we still have that phone system is pretty good about handing calls off. Right. And if you're on the phone, you will call them back, I know, and or even email in, you know, if you put attention, Ken, when you email to dxengineering@dxengineering.com. Ken, let's go back to a popular, relatively new radio, the Icom 9700. What are you hearing about performance on 70 centimeters? And it also has 1296 in it, right?
Right. Yeah. So you get the best of all three, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, 1.2 gig. It's a fantastic radio. Been hearing a lot of good reports on it. People are loving it. Great for satellite work. If you're going to try to do any kind of satellite work, it's an awesome satellite receiver, transceiver, I should say. And it's really been a very, very good performer for us.
And so you get 100 watts on 2, right?
Correct. 100 watts on 2, 75, I believe, on 70, and then less on 1.2. I forget, I think maybe around 10 watts. Yes, I think it's 10 if I remember correctly. Yeah.
On 1.2.
Right.
And let's see here. We've got November Yankee 9 Golf on. And also Whiskey Juliet 3 United says he doesn't have any VHF or UHF radios yet, but boy, there's a great selection. I mean, all across all the manufacturers, there's just a great selection of those radios. So and you know, it's hard, like if I'm buying a handheld, Ken, it's hard to compare, you know, all the different features, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's a question I get asked a lot. You know, well, what is this digital thing? Why do I need digital? What does that give me? What does it do for me? If you're not familiar with digital, basically digital is a mode, another mode the radio has to offer besides just analog. And when we talk analog, we're just talking, you know, voice transmission and reception. In a digital radio, you have what they call a codec, which is basically an encoder decoder. It's short for encoder decoder. It takes your analog audio, encodes it into a digital stream, then transmits that stream digitally. And then on the other end, the receiver at the other end then grabs that digital stream, decodes it, and then plays it back as regular audio. So it's actually a true digital transmission. The best part about that is you have a lot less problems than you do with analog. You don't have, with digital, you won't have picket fencing, because basically with digital, you're either there or you're not there. If the decoder can't decode the packet, then it just doesn't try. So you're not going to have digital fencing. You're not going to have fading. You're not going to have any kind of interference. And that's the beauty. I mean, there's absolutely just no interference in it. We used to do a lot of events. I'm the coordinator for Aries for Summit County, and we used to do several events in downtown Akron, and we were on analog at the time, and we were having just a terrible time with, you know, there's so much noise, you know, RF noise in a city like that. You have paging services, you have all kinds of crosstalk, and just unbelievable noise. Well, the last few years, we've been doing all of our events now on digital, and it's just a world apart. It's amazing. It's just a quiet, there's no more, you don't have to worry about any of the noise that you used to have to deal with on analog.
Yeah, that is a great point, Ken. Absolutely great. Let's see, we've got Kevin, Kilo 3 Kilo Tango Bravo from Meadville, Pennsylvania. And we have 4 Zulu 1, I think it's Juliet. Juliet is on. He says he's always been a procrastinator, but today I even broke my own record by confirming a QSO that he had with K3LR back in 1999. You know, Richard, I've been waiting for this. And it's always nice to have a new DX confirmation there. And
yeah, good job, Richard.
Kilo Alpha 3 Delta Fox Kilo was on, and he says, hello, Tim and Ken. You good info. You guys always pass along, and have a great weekend. Same to you, Chuck. Thanks for being a DX Engineering customer. And let's see, we've got David says, I love my 9700. Just wish it had 220. Now, what do you do, Ken, when somebody wants to get on 220? What do we have in the back there?
Options are limited right now on 220. There aren't a lot of 220 transceivers. We get that question every day, Tim. We get asked almost all the time, do you have any 220 transceivers, mobiles, HTs, anything like that? And there really just aren't that many out there. Unfortunately, it seems like 220 has kind of disappeared. I mean, there's still a lot of 220 activity. I have a 220 mobile in the back right behind me here on 220 only mobile. It's just older than the hills, but it works.
What about a 220 handheld? I've got a good friend that has a handheld fascination. And so what do you do for 220 handhelds?
There's not much, honestly. Right now, there really isn't anything out there that's a 220. You know, there are almost no tri-banders out there. You know, unfortunately, Kenwood got rid of the THD 74. We're all sad to see that go.
Oh, that was a great radio.
But yeah, it was a great radio, and it even had D-Star. So I mean, gee, you know, you lost a really good HT there when they discontinued that, unfortunately. But there really isn't at the moment. There's just nothing in that space.
And we have Captain Jack, Kilo Alpha 3 Hotel Papa Mike is on from Pittsburgh. Always good to see you, Jack. And let's see, Kilo Julia 7 India Echo Alpha. Love my FT2DR.
Yep, absolutely.
You hear a lot of good things about that radio?
Hear great things about that radio. Like I said in the beginning, the 2DR and the 3DR both fantastic transceivers.
Yeah. We've got Jeff, Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Victor on, and from Puerto Rico, it's Kilo Papa 4 Radio Yankee. And David says the Demi transverters is a way to get on 220. And you have any experience with the Demis at all?
I have not. No, I've done a little bit with transverters, but I have not played around with the Demi transverters.
And Lou, who's got a great call sign, Kilo Julia 3 Lima Radio. Lou says, can't wait to get the 220 Bridgecom. So
that's one that I hadn't thought of. Right. Yeah, the 220 Bridgecom. Yeah. Nice HT.
Let's see here. Let's see. Daniel says, I own an old Kenwood TM621A 2-meter and 220 megahertz radio. It's still working. So, yeah, you got to hang on to some of the old gear.
That's right.
Let's see. We got Steve, Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Fox Lima is on. And we've got November 3 Tango India Radio. Bud is on with us too. Talk to Bud every day. I get a chance to say hello to Bud. So I'm a pretty lucky guy. And Bud is the section emergency coordinator here in Western Pennsylvania. And he does a great job. And coming up on simulated emergency test weekend this weekend. You got plans for that, Ken?
We do. Our Aries group is going to be activated, and we will definitely be on the SET.
Great. Yeah, we're Saturday morning. It's going to be all hands on deck here in Western PA as well. And we've got our good friend Lloyd, who has been going through some health things. WB4 Bravo Mike Quebec. And he says, outstanding information from Sweet Home, Alabama. And Lloyd, great to have you on. And Terry is on, Kilo Echo 8 Charlie Victor Alpha. I like HF, but when I can't get out on HF, I can always get out on Fusion Wires X.
No doubt. Absolutely.
A lot of people really having a good time with that. And let's see, Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Yankee Echo says, I love my FTM 400XDR. There's another. Yeah, that's another great one. The FTM 400XDR, the brand new, mostly new now. I guess it's been out for about a year, but the FTM 300, another great mobile. Absolutely. Yeah. And Dawn says, Whiskey Julia 3 United, with not many 220 megahertz transceivers available, I hope we don't lose the band for non-use.
Yeah, we lost part of it already to, who was it? UPS or FedEx? I don't remember which one.
UPS. And I don't know if they ever did anything with it.
I don't think they ever did anything with it either, yeah. And I just looked at my 220 mobile sitting back here, Tim. It's an old Yaesu memorizer. So
Memorizer. Ooh. You know,
it still works.
I couldn't remember that. I mean, my memorizer did not remember that radio. So how old do you think that is, Ken?
Well, let's see. I've been in the hobby since '81, so it was probably a little before my time. I'm guessing maybe 78.
Yeah. Wow. That's and I'll bet that was before we lost part of the band.
That was before you lost part of the band, right?
Yeah. So it probably works in that area that was I don't know if it was auctioned off or just given to UPS. You know, a lot of things have changed since the early 80s. So, but anyway, Ken, hey, it was great having you on today. We did have some good questions, and we got to do this more often. And
absolutely,
thanks for all you do to support our customers. I know a lot of new people get to talk to you, and you know, because I get the emails back that say, "Hey, I talked to Ken, and he answered every question I had. He took the time, and there was no pressure to buy anything." And that's the way, I mean, we operate. We're Elmers to everybody that we can be, and I really appreciate everything you do for DX Engineering.
Well, thank you, Tim. I appreciate it, and I definitely love to talk to the customers. So certainly call in if you have any questions. Digital, you know, like Tim said, FT8. You know, SDRs, I'll be happy to talk about SDRs with you, any digital modes, Echolink, whatever, DMR, D-Star, System Fusion. Be happy to talk to you about it.
Great. Well, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Hope you learned something today. Hope you had fun, and get on the air and have some fun with ham radio. And if we can help, we're here at DX Engineering. So until next time, 73 from Digital Dorsey and from DX Engineering.
73.